I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms. And I will.
The Mad King's daughter will destroy the realm. We must stand together if we hope to stop her.
We can't defeat the Night King's army on our own. Daenerys has dragon fire.
A Targaryen cannot be trusted.
If we don't band together, we will die.
Winter is here, Your Grace.
Everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend. Every possible series of events is happening all at once.
I believe you have a role to play, as does another.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and a new Game of Thrones trailer was actually leaked from Comic-Con. And it gives some new interesting details about the next upcoming episode, as well as the season going forward. I just want to issue a quick spoiler warning for anyone out there. If you don't want to get spoiled for potential plot points later in the season, do not watch this video. But moving on, the first thing we see is a bunch of people arriving at a beach. And what I want to point out is that there are black sands. And I'm convinced that this is not Dragonstone. This is actually Eastwatch by the Sea. And the last episode of Game of Thrones has hinted at Eastwatch by the Sea a lot. First of all, Jon sent Tormund and the wildlings to guard the wall by Eastwatch. The reason Jon did this is because he believes that that is the first place the Night King will attack. But then we hear about Eastwatch by the Sea again through the Hound. And he talks about seeing where the wall meets the sea, and that is Eastwatch by the Sea. And it seems like the Brotherhood Without Banners will be heading to Eastwatch by the Sea, and the wildlings will already be there. And what we've also seen is through the trailer some action set pieces north of the wall. We see Jon there, Tormund, the Hound, Beric Dondarrion. And I believe this scene with them landing on the black sand beaches is when they finally arrive at Eastwatch. But then we get a look at Cersei and we find out that she's actually talking to Randyll Tarly when she says that the Mad King's daughter will destroy the realm. And it makes sense that Cersei would say this because she wants to tarnish Daenerys' reputation as much as possible. She wants people to pull support from her and support her own claim, Cersei's claim to the throne. And this leads to an alliance between the Tarlys and the Lannisters. And I bet you any money the Lannisters are going to promise Randyll Tarly that when they take over Highgarden, he will take the seat to Highgarden and rule the Reach. And this is going to result in a big battle we're going to see between dragons, Dothraki, Unsullied, Lannister soldiers, and Tarly soldiers. But then in the north, we see Jon telling his people that they cannot defeat the Night King on their own. And he's pretty much telling them that they need to support Daenerys because she has dragonfire. I'm not sure if they edited this to make it sound like he says dragonfire when he's actually saying dragonglass. But if Jon truly says dragonfire, then that means he is aware that she has dragons and that they could play a vital role in fighting off the Whites and the White Walkers. But then we see Lord Royce speak up and say that a Targaryen cannot be trusted. And this just goes back on what Cersei's praying for. Daenerys' reputation to be tarnished because of her father and because of her family history. And that's going to be a big thing that Daenerys is going to have to overcome in this season. And because of this, Jon and Sansa are going to feel differently, which will result in a revolt in the north, which was stated in the synopsis. Sansa made it very clear in episode 1 that nothing will stop Cersei. She will do whatever she can to destroy her enemies. And Sansa confidently says that they still have a wall between them and the Night King. Whereas Jon feels opposite. Jon has seen the Night King. He knows the threat that they can bring. And he doesn't believe that Cersei would range north because winter has come, and what Jon believes she would end up losing the fight. But then we see Jon choking Littlefinger, and this is really interesting. First of all, Littlefinger could be undermining Jon's leadership because Littlefinger would agree more with Sansa. And I think it's pretty obvious that he would prefer Sansa as Warden of the North rather than Jon Snow. Another thing is that he is next to Lyanna Stark, but I believe that Jon is actually looking at his true father, Ned Stark. And Littlefinger could possibly be saying something negative to tarnish Ned Stark's name, and Jon takes offense to that. A real tinfoil theory is that Littlefinger knows Jon Snow's true parentage and is hinting at that to Jon Snow, which he gets angry over. But then we get an interesting shot of Euron Greyjoy in King's Landing, and it looks like he's kind of basking in his victory. And last time we saw him, he told Cersei that he would not return to King's Landing unless he had a gift. And it clearly looks like he's happy and he has a gift. If you look at the rope he is holding, it looks like it is holding a character that we may know. In next episode, we're going to see a giant ship battle. And this could lead to Euron taking Yara and Ellaria Sand prisoner. The best gift he could possibly give Cersei is vengeance. And Ellaria Sand was responsible for the murder of her daughter Marcella. But then we get a very blurry look at Jorah. And his character arc is going to be very interesting because Sam is currently learning everything he can about dragonglass and White Walkers. And from the book he was reading, it suggests that dragonglass, if ingested, can potentially cure particular diseases. And if Jorah ingests dragonglass, it could cure his grayscale. And this theory does line up. Shireen Baratheon was mysteriously cured of her grayscale. Stannis Baratheon did bring in many maesters to try and cure her, but Shireen was living on Dragonstone. And what if Shireen ended up ingesting the dragonglass, or her just being in proximity to it cured her grayscale? And that is a plot point that was set up so early in the series, and it would make sense if it paid off again here with Jorah. But then we get a further look at both battles, the fight at Casterly Rock and the fight at Highgarden. If you want to know how I think Daenerys will conquer Westeros, which will involve both of these battles strategy-wise, check out this video. But the most interesting scene that we get is Melisandre arrives in Dragonstone and talks to Daenerys. And this lines up with the synopsis of episode 2, which states that Daenerys receives an unexpected visitor. But the most interesting part of this interaction is that Melisandre tells Daenerys that she has a role to play, but so does another. And it seems like Melisandre is hinting at Jon Snow. And what's so great about this is that it's hinting at a natural alliance between Daenerys and Jon Snow. And it seems like Jon Snow is set on going to Dragonstone to get dragonglass. But the fact that Melisandre has laid down the groundwork to Daenerys about the importance of Jon Snow means that these characters could enter more of a partnership rather than Daenerys ruling over Jon Snow. We know that if Jon Snow goes to Daenerys, she will want Jon to pledge her allegiance to her. But with Jon, with everything that he has been through, will probably refuse to bend the knee. But with this information that Melisandre is giving Daenerys, it would mean that Daenerys and Jon Snow will enter a strong partnership, and one would not rule the other. But that is it on my thoughts on this leaked Comic-Con trailer. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I got a live stream coming out tonight and a breakdown video coming out today as well. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys later.